In the stillness of winter, the harbor falls quiet. Snow settles on every edge of copper and stone, softening the crown, the folds, the outstretched arm.
Hey, we're heading to Ellis Island, the Statue of Liberty today.
And keep watching, and we're going to tell you all about it.
It was a cold winter day, right after Christmas, and we were questioning our sanity about going to visit the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. Well, we grabbed our winter hat and coats, and we headed to Liberty State Park in New Jersey. Now to find it, just follow your GPS and make a right on Audrey Zapp Drive. It's a cobblestone street, and when you're on the cobblestones, you'll know you're there. Now, it's recommended that you buy tickets online, but you can also buy them at the Liberty State Park when you arrive. And after you park, scan the QR code to pay for your parking.
So this is really interesting. Where the ferry lets you off and where you pick up the ferry at Liberty State Park is actually the old terminal where people commuted into the city. They picked up their ferry here, went into the city, and these are the old tracks. Look at this. Track 5, track 4, track 3. And you can see it's all abandoned. But this is where people would commute into Manhattan back in the day.
Not only that, 10.5 million immigrants passed through this train station entering the United States after they were processed at Ellis Island. And this train depot was in use from 1889 to 1964. Now, once you park, just walk towards the New York City skyline to get to the entrance to the ferry. And it's inside this old port building where you can buy tickets if you haven't gotten them online already. Now, hang a right and walk to that white building in the back. That's where you go through airport-style security before you're allowed to get on the ferry. Since it was winter, there wasn't a line, but I would expect during the high season you may have to wait.
So the security checkpoint that we just went through is just like at an airport. Take off your belt, get out your wallet, take your car keys, put everything in the bin, then walk through a metal detector. So kind of a pain in the neck when we have all this winter gear to keep ourselves warm. But now we're heading towards the boat. So we're trying to get the next ferry. Looks like they're loading up, almost ready to go. I don't know if we're gonna make it. And it is freezing.
The boat leaves every 15 minutes, but that schedule can change based on the season. And since the boat was about to leave, we hustled and we made it.
So there is indoor and outdoor seating, covered, uncovered, I believe. We're down the lower level, but we have a nice view. Let me show you.
As you pull away, you get some great views of New York City.
So we're pulling out of port from Liberty State Park. Again, we're on the Jersey side, and I think our first stop might be Ellis Island. I'm not sure, but we do Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty. It's all included.
And after 10 minutes on the ferry, we arrived to our first stop, which was Ellis Island.
So the story of Ellis Island, for those that don't know, is that this is the spot where millions of immigrants were processed coming to the United States, a lot from Europe. And it was opened as an immigration processing center from the 1800s until 1954 when it closed. And this is where my grandparents came over from Sicily, and Sue's grandparents came over from Germany and Ireland.
Inside the main immigration building is a museum where the stories are told about the brave immigrants who came to the U.S. to find a better life. When you enter, go to the right, and you can pick up some audio self-guided headphones, which is included with the ticket. And be aware that the only ticket you need to buy is your ferry ticket. There's no charge to enter Ellis Island or the Statue of Liberty. In the center of the building is the main registration hall, where the immigrants registered to come into the U.S. And you can even go up to the second level to get a bird's eye view.
And it's been said that when you come through this registration hall and get registered, if your name was complex, often the immigration agent would shorten it, and that would be your new name for living in the U.S., or often the names are misspelled, and that was a very common occurrence.
Now don't just stop at the registration hall. There are 3 levels to explore, and there are displays in side rooms.
And there are restrooms scattered all around, so don't worry about that.
We took our time and spent a good hour or 2 checking out all the displays.
So why did they come here? Well, of course, many came to escape famine and war, but some just came to find a better life. For example, in my case, my grandfather came over. He had a good job in Sicily. He was a port inspector. But he said, I'm going to go to America because that's the golden place to go to. So he left his good job in Sicily, came over to New York, and actually he was a stonemason, and he actually helped build many of the buildings in New York City. And what you may not have known is that they had dormitories all around Ellis Island, because sometimes people had to stay here for a couple of days until they got situated. And here's an example of one right here.
And after checking out all the indoor displays, head outside to check the wall.
So outside there's this huge wall with, in alphabetical order, of the names of people that came through here. I think you had to pay to have this done. I know that my family did at one point. And this area with the wall, again, provides another beautiful view of New York City. So if you come, make sure you come outside here and check it out and see if you can find the name of your family.
Now it turns out when our family left Sicily, half came to the U.S. and the other half went to Australia.
So we're heading to the Statue of Liberty next.
Just make sure you get on the right boat to the Statue of Liberty. There are signs, but if you're not sure, there are people you can ask. And during the ride, take a listen to the history lesson that's provided.
We are now on our way to the Statue of Liberty at Liberty Island. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from the people of France in 1886. It was originally intended to celebrate the 100th anniversary of America's independence and to be a symbol of friendship between France and the United States. The statue has since become a universal symbol of our nation's freedom, opportunity, security, and future.
And within less than 10 minutes, there she was in all her glory. Now, when you exit the boat, look to the left and you'll see the new Statue of Liberty Museum, which opened in 2019. But if you want to get some pictures of the Statue of Liberty, go to the right.
So we're going to walk up to the Statue of Liberty, see if we can go inside. You can go to the ground, but that's an extra cost. And you used to be able to go all the way up the arm. But little known fact that in 1916 there was a huge explosion of ammunitions. It's the Black Tom explosion on Black Tom Island, and it was from saboteurs from Germany that blew up munitions that were supposed to be going over to Europe to help in World War I. And that explosion was so big that it damaged the arm of the Statue of Liberty. And ever since then, you're not allowed to go up the arm to the top of the torch.
Now, unfortunately, we were not able to go inside the Statue of Liberty unless we had some other tickets, which we didn't have. So we spent the time just walking around, taking some great photos. We then headed over to the museum, and we were pleasantly surprised. There was a great display of the history of the Statue of Liberty, including the original torch, which served as a beacon of hope for those immigrants arriving to Ellis Island.
So the torch that you see behind me was the original from 1886. It was replaced in 1984 because it was damaged beyond repair.
As our great President Ronald Reagan once said, the United States is the shining city upon a hill, which is what this torch represented.
Definitely worth a visit. Now we're heading back.
That was awesome. Let's get on the boat.
And look for the signs so you get on the right ferry back to Liberty State Park in New Jersey. It was a great day out, and I would suggest planning to spend at least 5 or 6 hours for the entire event.